Cutting Edge Sports Network is the #1 high school sports site dedicated to bringing you the top local sports coverage in the New Jersey area. We are focused on curating live play-by-play broadcasting, game recaps, weekly news articles, and the best.
Vernon Township High School, it's senior night. Girls are senior here. We're going to get the coverage of Boston dancing. We're going to turn it in as they honor the seniors here at
Ministry of Cooperation by supporting participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, derogatory comments, or other intimidating actions directed at the officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and may cost you the right to watch tonight's match. A reminder that Vernon Township High School is a completely smoke-free facility. Now I'd like to introduce the young ladies that will be wrestling tonight.
Yeah.
First we have from Vernon, Sheridan Jones, and High Point, Aileen Nicolsi. For Vernon, Drayden Jarman. For Vernon, Denise Fredwell. And for Wildcats, Denise Garner. And for the Wildcats, Lisa Brownbridge. For Vernon, Joan Vince, and for High Point, Haley Hope. For Vernon, Adrienne Goldsby, and for High Point, Barney Wilder. For Vernon, Alyssa Delosi, and for High Point, Kaylee Little. For the Vikings, Caitlin Hart. For the Wildcats, Noah Gaffney. For Vernon, Charlotte Flatt, and for High Point, Denise Duran. For Vernon, Sheridan Jones. For High Point, Sophia Lombardo. For the Vikings, Alyssa Pelosi. For the Wildcats, Sydney Holder. For Vernon, Drayden Jarman. And for High Point, Barney Wilder. For Vernon, Madeline Hart. For High Point, Denise Duran. And for Vernon, Caitlin Hart. For the Wildcats, Gabby Glass. This evening we'd like to take a few minutes to recognize the senior members of both teams. So, ladies, if you would just step forward, we'll do the Wildcats first. We have senior Kaylee Holder. Noel Gaffney. And Sophia Lombardo. Okay, and then from Vernon, we have senior Drayden Jarman. And we also have senior Madison McPherson. It's a family affair. This time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please
Vernon Township High School on the Cutting Edge Sports Network. I'm Dan Cleary. We have our first girls wrestling. It's not going to be duels, it'll be jamboree style. So if you saw the Lehigh introductions, you're going to see that several wrestlers will be wrestling a couple of times. But it's senior night, and our purpose here tonight is to showcase these fabulous athletes. And talking about fabulous athletes, joining me tonight doing color commentary is nationally known and great Blair Academy wrestler, and just finished up wrestling at Rock College University in Canada. Well-known senior-level wrestler, Skylar Grote. Skylar, thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be here and see, the growth of New Jersey wrestling.
Now, you're someone that's right on the forefront of female wrestling. How exciting is it to see something like this, that the seniors are being honored, they're getting all the recognition. When you were at Blair, you had to wrestle with the boys.
Yeah, I think it's awesome that, girls have this opportunity to wrestle on an all-girls team and get the recognition that they deserve and, have a senior night with their fellow teammates. It's really awesome to see the progression of, the sport.
Give everyone a little bit of your background.
I'll start with when I started wrestling. So I started wrestling at 8 years old. I'm from the Blairstown area, so I wrestled at the Blairstown in elementary school. Went on to wrestle at North Orange in middle school. Then I went to Blair for high school and wrestled there. And wrestled my collegiate career at Brock University. And now I'm an RTC athlete for Oregon State.
Fantastic. Really, folks, if you know anything about female wrestling, we got superstars sitting right next to us. One of the trailblazers in female wrestling in New Jersey. We're going to start off. Sheridan Jones from Vernon gets Helen Bukuski from High Point. Sheridan Jones, she's 6-12. She's a 10th grader. She came in 4th at the HWS, 5th at the Bloomfield tournament. She finished in the top 6 at the Bergen County Women's Coaches Association. We're underway. And Haley Mikuski, she is 0-3, and she weighs 185, so she's got a size advantage against Jones. But as we were saying, Skylar, this is a jamboree. People are going to be jumping some weight classes. This is all about getting mat time.
Yeah, it's, like you said, it's all about getting mat time. And honestly, size doesn't really matter that much. I mean, to a degree, but I like wrestling. People lighter than me, people heavier than me. There's always something different.
Walkill wrestling the boys and in college. Ashley Isliff, the Pied Piper of female wrestling in Sussex County, and trying to get the pin here. Getting the flags. And we have the pin, so Sheridan Jones will get the pin for the Vikings. Again, no team score being kept. And you're going to see several wrestlers wrestle once or twice tonight. So our next match should be Drayden Charman from Vernon against Janisa Durrani. Drayden is 19-8. She's a senior. She just was honored. A nice job by Rich Poplowski. And she had a big win over Paisley Fox from Hunter and Central, who was 4th in the North Region, and Alexa Firestone from Kingsway. And Kingsway's got about 35 kids on their team, Coach. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So Drayden having a great year.
Like we were talking earlier, you said there were 35 girls on the team. I was only one of 7 girls when I wrestled in New Jersey, growing
the entire
up.
state.
Yeah, in the entire state. So to see that there are 35 girls on one team, it's incredible.
Yeah, Kingsway really taking it serious, leading the way in South Jersey. Janisa Durrani, she's 6-9. You're going to see a lot of her tonight. She's going to be wrestling 3 times for the Wildcats. Erin Bang, the head coach of High Point, former outstanding field hockey player back in the day for the Wildcats doing this program. John Gardner, the head of the boys program, also involved. Also involved with the girls program are Joe Down, the head coach at Vernon, along with his assistants John Logie and Pat Thompson. So they're here tonight supporting the women's team. And getting back to what Ashley has done in Sussex County, Skylar, you were speaking so highly of her before. Talk about your relationship with Ashley.
Yeah, so when I was wrestling in an elementary school, there were some big names that, female wrestlers in the area, and those were Sam Fee and Ashley Isliff. And so as a young wrestler, I really looked up to them because, they were in my area. And my dad kind of exposed me to them. He brought me to a lot of their matches just so I could see older females, being represented in the sport. I think representation. Oh, she's got her on her back here. She might get the pin.
Charmin with the takedown.
But like I was saying, representation is, super important. So growing up as a young wrestler, it was awesome having Ashley and Sam to look up to. And, Ashley was always there to roll around with me. I remember rolling around with her, anywhere from like 6th grade to 8th grade. And then I started to get a little too big for her. So she's always been like 100 pounds. So I started to surpass her. But she was always there to work out with me. And, even my college career, I remember being at Lafayette my first year, and I would have her, come all the way to Lehigh to get some workouts with me. And she always did the drive, and she always did it for me. So she's a great person, a great coach, and a great friend to have.
Certainly is. Charmin with the 5-point move. Good job by Duraney not to get stuck. So we're going to head to the second period with Charmin with a 5-0 lead with the takedown and 3 back points. Duraney will be down. Charmin up top.
It's really impressive, too. These girls have only been wrestling for anywhere from 1 to 3 years, and just some of the moves that they're able to hit in that short of a time. It's impressive. Wrestling is such a hard sport to just pick up really fast. It takes a lot of strength and a lot of technique, and it's really impressive for these girls to be hitting these moves so quickly.
I know Aaron Bang and both Ashley work the hallways. If they see a kid doesn't do a winter sport, you know what? Come try wrestling. And a lot of kids get it and they fall in love with it.
Yeah, I feel like most people love wrestling. It teaches you a lot about yourself and life in general. It's definitely a great sport.
Charmin with more back points. They're trying to get the pin here, and it looks like she's going to get it. And a pin for Drayden Charmin, so Vernon will start off with 2 straight falls. And that'll bring up Alyssa Velosi from Vernon and Miso Brownbridge. Brownbridge 2-10 this year. And Alyssa Velosi, sophomore, 8-7. There's several top-notch kids not wrestling tonight because of match limitations. We're getting ready for districts and the individual tournament. So we're not going to see everyone tonight. But
I didn't even know about that.
30-match limit.
Yeah, I didn't know. 30 matches is a lot of matches.
Yeah, it is.
So.
My old buddy, who was the only state champ from Vernon, Jan Michaels, wrestled, he was 20 matches. That's it.
Yeah.
But I think 30 is a decent amount before you hit into the individual tournament. And no points yet for Brownbridge. And there she gets it.
Looks like she's got her arm trapped. If she can just keep working towards the head here, running her feet. Yep. She's got to bring her feet around. Now she needs to settle back here.
Brownbridge in good shape here.
And look at the flexibility here, It just, girls are so flexible. It adds another challenge. I think that, wrestling obviously is similar with the boys and the girls, but the girls are just so much more flexible.
And a good job by Velosi not giving up the back points. They couldn't get the flags in a row. So Brownbridge wrote the 2-0 lead with 50 seconds to go here in the first period. Again, Jamboree style, if you're just joining us, they're not going by weight class, they're picking up the escape. 2-1 for Brownbridge. So you're going to see maybe it might look like a mismatch weight-wise, but they're doing it Jamboree style. And again, this is all about, as we talked about, Skylar and I, about getting mat time. And, here on the competitor, as she locks it up. So we're just trying to give all the attention to this sport and try to spread the word. We want to thank Matt Gizzi of the Cutting Edge Sports Network for taking care of this match. Matt said, you know what, let's get some exposure to the girls wrestling in Sussex County, and Matt has his crew here, so we want to thank him. And we're going to head to the third period with a 2-1 lead for Brownbridge. After Brownbridge had Velosi in trouble, she fought it off, and now it's only a 1-point match. Check that second period. Hey, folks, want to thank some old-time Vernon sponsors, Trax Deli, great soup at Soup Weather. Stop by Trax Deli on Vernon Crossing Road. The Mitchell and Jenke families, huge supporters of all Vernon athletics. Kevin Mitchell wrestled at Vernon back in the day, big supporter of wrestling. And we want to thank Creek Concrete for High Point. Pete Saldano and the Saldano family have owned Creek Concrete for many years, and Pete's son Brian is arguably the best wrestler in the state of New Jersey right now, looking to get his 3rd straight state title for the Wildcats, committed to go to Rutgers. So we want to thank Creek Concrete as well as Trax Deli, 2 longtime High Point and Vernon sponsors. So again, we're in the second period. Brownbridge with the 2-1 lead. She's been in control for most of the match. Almost got some back points, but hats off to Alyssa Velosi for not giving them up. There's one flag.
She looks like she might be in trouble here, but again, she is so flexible. It's hard to keep her on her back.
No points there. You can see Joe Down, the boys coach, right next to Ashley Iliff, cheering on and yelling out instructions. It's a real nice night, senior night here for High Point and Vernon. You're on the Cutting Edge Sports Network. 43 seconds to go in the second period, still a 1-point match. Skylar, you're a fairly young, very young person. How much has wrestling grown in just your short amount of time on the mats on the female side?
Yeah, it's grown a lot. Like I was saying before, it was only really me, Ashley, and Sam Free wrestling in this area. And, Marley Smith was another, and Sissy Blazone. So there were a couple of us, but not many. I believe my senior year of high school, I was only one of 7 wrestling in New Jersey competitively. So now there are over 1,000, I believe, and I think that we can thank the Ayers family for that. I know that they they had, I know Lori really wanted to get women's wrestling sanctioned for New Jersey, and she really pushed it, and she was successful. And then once that went through, New Jersey girls wrestling just kind of skyrocketed, and, now all these opportunities are here. So we definitely have, Lori and Chris to thank for that. And there were other people that were also involved. So, it takes a village.
Chris Ayers, former outstanding wrestler at Newton High School and the head coach of Princeton. And Velosi trying to lock it up. She might have it.
She needs to get her head in the side there.
And she got 2 flags.
Nope.
Brownbridge trying to wiggle out of that.
Yeah, looks like she's going to get a reversal here.
2 will go up. So it should be 4-3 after the reversal. But getting the back points was Velosi as we approach a minute to go here in the third period. Chris Ayers, a member of the Sussex County Sports Hall of Fame. He went in a couple of years ago. Gave a great speech that night. Chris was funny. And he's done a lot for wrestling in the state, as you said.
Yeah, their daughter, Chloe, I know she started wrestling in 8th grade. I worked with her. I rolled around with her a little her first year, and now she's at Princeton, and, she's navigating her own little path at Princeton, and she's wrestling on the senior level now, so that's pretty awesome.
Velosi picking up the point. She retakes the lead 5-4 with 25 seconds to go here in the third period. Getting some more flags here. So Velosi, who trailed most of this match, she's going to get the pin. Nice job by Alyssa Velosi. Wow. Skylar, what'd you see there? How did she get back in this one?
Yeah, she never gave up. Even when she was getting put to her back, she fought off of it really well, and that's a big part of wrestling, not giving up and knowing that at any point you can come back and win. That's the beauty of wrestling. It's never over.
All right, we're going to move to our next match. It'll be Joan Vince. She's 21-7. She's a junior. She had a big win over county champ Gianna Simeone from Newton. She came in second in the HWS, third at the Bayonne Battle of the Bay, fourth at the Bloomfield tournament, and she is a 2021 USA National Team qualifier, second in freestyle states in 2021, and fourth at the BCWA tournament. And she's going to take on Kaylee Holder. And Right away, Vince making quick work. Kaylee Holder 0-7, but you got to love that she's on the mat battling. But Joan really has developed into possibly one of Vernon's best wrestlers and becoming one of the better wrestlers in the county. And she's going to get the fall. Another pin for the Vikings. As Joan Vince will move to 22-7.
Yeah, she came out super aggressive. You know, I think that there's benefit to that, going out, being super aggressive right off the bat.
Well, High Point going to look to get a win here as they send out Carney Weibel. She came in first at the Battle of the Bay, second in Bloomfield tournament, and she won the HWS title at 138. She's 17-2. She's going to go against Adriana Goolsby from Vernon. Goolsby 10-9. She's a 10th grader. She came in 5th at the HWS and finished in the top 6 at the BCWCA tournament. But Carney Weibel having a monster year, 17-2. Winning, as we said, the HWS championship, which was held at High Point. She's in deep, taking the shot. Goolsby trying to spread out. No control yet. Still has that leg.
Yeah, she's got to get her hips underneath her here and try to get the corner. Oh, a little head wheel there.
Yes, indeed. No 2 yet, but very close. Now she's going to get it. There's the 2. So Weibel gets the 2-0 lead over Goolsby with a minute to go here in the first period.
Yeah, that was great transition work. You know, she's on that single. She's not able to get it, so she switches her head to the other side and goes head wheel. That's like high-level stuff. I just started doing a head wheel like last year. So, no, that's a great transition there.
So Skylar's the ultimate goal to get on a national team and then later on coach and continue the spreading the word about girls wrestling?
Yeah, the goal is to make an Olympic team, make some world teams. You know, win nationals a couple times. I haven't won nationals yet on the senior level. I was runner-up during the COVID year, but I haven't won a stop sign yet on the senior level. So I have, you know, some of those goals. And, yeah, after that, I do want to coach. I think I want to coach on the college level, a D1 school preferably, but yeah, that is the goal.
Got to talk to your buddy Chris Ayers.
Yeah, I
Get you in at Princeton.
Yeah, I never really thought about coaching, honestly, until COVID hit. And then I started doing a lot of privates and stuff, and I was like, I really enjoy this. But I never even thought about it before that. And then I was like, you know what? Like, these girls deserve to have, you know, female wrestlers coaching them as well. Right. And I think that that's an important part of the growth of women's wrestling is going to be, you know, having people that look like them in those positions. Like, I think it's great that, you know, these girls have Ashley to look up to. And there's benefit to having a coach or having other fellow athletes that look like you.
Right.
It's important. Representation is so important.
So Carney with the 2-0 lead, in control for most of it. Almost had Goolsby on her back, but Adriana did a great job not getting stuck for the Vikings. High Point looking to pick up its first win, although no team scoring because it's a jamboree style. She's
got to keep her hips back and her head up here. She doesn't want to get rolled through. She needs to settle back here. Doesn't look like she can get the turn.
She'll pick up the 2, 4-0 in her lead. I also want to thank a long-time Vernon sponsor, Pochuck Valley Farms, right down the street, Route 517. The Vance family's owned it for many, many years. Great breakfast food, great place to go during the fall for the pumpkin picking, apple picking. But they're open year-round. Great time to go there. Great homemade food. It's Pochuck Valley Farms in Vernon. And rolling through, getting the flags here, and there's the fall. So a pin with 41 seconds to go in the second period for Carney Weibel. She picks up her 18th win. So our next match will be Alyssa Velosi, who pinned in her first match against Miso Brownbridge. She's going to go against Kaylee Little from High Point. So Veloci 9-7. No, actually, that's going to be Caitlin Hart, looks like. It will not be Veloci. Change it on the fly, but that happens during the jamboree. I believe that's Caitlin Hart. So this would be Caitlin Hart. All right, thank you, Joe Down, Vernon head coach. All right, we're going to go Caitlin Hart from Vernon against Noelle Gaffney from High Point.
I was going to say, there's a little too much of a size difference for that one.
Right. Caitlin Hart, 17-7, just a freshman, so she's got a big future ahead of her. Second at the Hunter Warren Sussex tournament, second at the Battle of the Bay at Bayonne, fourth at the Bloomfield tournament, and she finished in the top 6 in the BC WCA. And Noelle Gaffney, she came in second at the Bloomfield tournament, and she also won at the Battle of the Bay. And at the HWS, she came in second. This should be a real good one. Both of them having great seasons. Gaffney 15-4, Hart 17-7. And the one thing, Skylar, is since it is a growing sport, but it's still limited number-wise, you see a lot of the same people over and over. So you get to know their moves, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's true.
So Gaffney and Hart.
You know, but the cool thing about wrestling is, though, you can have a couple moves. If you're really good at those couple of moves, like, it's hard to stop, you know? There's people that I wrestle, and I know exactly what they're going to do, but, you know, they still can catch me because they're really good at what they do.
Exactly right.
I mean, everyone knows that Jordan Burroughs is going to blast double, right? But not many people can stop it. So when you have a couple moves that you're really good at, it's hard to stop.
No, they have to do it, and I don't think they do. Does Rutgers have female wrestling?
No, I don't believe so.
Well,
I
we have
know
to get on that, Skylar.
Yeah, I think they started a girls' club. That's usually how it's starting at those schools, as a girls' club first. You know, I really wish one of those. Well, I guess Iowa just did, announce an official program, but I wish more of these D1 schools got on board with that and offered an official program because, you know, it's hard to just go to a D1 school and be part of a club. You don't have the same perks as, you know, the boys do being D1. And I know it will happen, but it's just a little frustrating that it's taken this long.
Gaffney trying to get the full. She can have enough time. 4 seconds to go. She has a 2-0 lead. Hart fighting it off. And the buzzer will sound. She'll pick the back points and take the 5-0 lead over Caitlin Hart. Good job by Hart to fight that off. Gaffney controlled that first period. And you know what? Getting the female wrestling on the Division I level, I mean, there's Title IX issues there, and that might help bring back some of the men's programs that got cut years ago because of Title IX issues. Because if both are being offered, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think that it just grows wrestling in general. Having females in the sport, you know, we're including the other gender, and that's going to grow our sport. It's good for the sport. It's really, really good for the sport.
Gaffney trying to work her way out. Go ahead, Skylar.
Yeah, I was just going to say, not only is it good for the sport, it's good for these young females to, you know, learn and get to enjoy everything wrestling has to offer.
With the escape, 6-0 lead for Gaffney here in the second period. Thanks for joining us here on the Cutting Edge Sports Network. Dan Cleary, along with former Blair Academy star and college wrestling star Skylar Grote. We appreciate her being here. Takedown, 8-0. And rolling through. Hart's in trouble here.
Yeah, she's got to get her arm through. If she can punch that arm through.
And Gaffney's going to pick up the pin. So High Point gets its first victory of the evening. Again, no
They
team
had another
score.
victory, didn't they?
Oh, yes, they did. You're right.
Yeah, second, I think.
No, I think they were all pins for Vernon.
No, there was one more.
Well, Carney Weibel. Yes, you're right. Second win for High Point. Keep me straight there,
yeah,
Skylar. I appreciate it.
I have to.
Yeah, someone's got to. All right, so this is going to be Alyssa Veloci, and this from Vernon. She won her first match. beating Miso Brownberg. She was losing most of that match and ended up getting the pin in the third period. And this is going to be Kaylee Little. Audrey Flannery not wrestling tonight. Audrey, a terrific field hockey player for Coach Kelly Reynolds in the fall. And I remember when after Ashley had Newton, also Heather Connolly, who was arguably one of the best field hockey players to come out of Sussex County, she got into wrestling. So you get these good athletes in there. And, it's just a matter of teaching them the sport.
Yeah.
So this is Veloci looking for her second win of the night. Kaylee Little out there for the Wildcats.
Yeah, I was fortunate to start at such a young age, which I think that's, there's an advantage to starting at a young age, but there's also an advantage to starting at a later age, too. You don't learn as many bad habits. You also save your body a little bit.
Right.
This sport's hard on your body, so.
No doubt.
If you're competitive when you're 5 years old and you're kind of, so I had teammates all the time that just got burnt out by the time they were like 12 and they were done with the sport.
Right.
So you need to find a balance, and I think that's one of the things I've recently learned. There is a good balance to wrestling, and it's important. Otherwise, you do get burnt out.
Little picks up the 2. Should go up 2-0 with 39 seconds to go here in the first period. Trying to lock up a cradle here. What a surprise. A high point wrestler with a cradle. That's what they're known for on the boys' team. We always joke on the air that they say Mesopotamia was the cradle of civilization. We think Wantage is.
Yeah, every school has their thing. Blair Academy, it was the Blair ride,
Yep.
The arm bars and.
Again, want to thank Ashley Athletic Director Bill Foley, Principal Dr. Pauline Anderson for having us here today, and Chris Dexter, the AD at High Point. The first period will come to an end with a 2-0 lead for Little. And most importantly, I want to thank Matt Gizzi of the Cutting Edge Sports Network for bringing this live stream to you. Hey, we want to thank Dominic's Pizza and Sophia Lombardo, the outstanding wrestler for High Point. Family related there, so we want to thank Dominic's. I also want to thank the High Point Booster Club, Rhonda Gascion, Cheryl Saldano, big supporters of both the boys and girls team. That's amazing what they do. We want to thank them.
Looks like she's going to get this if she keeps running her feet around and adjusts her chest. She needs to sink back here and adjust her chest. There she goes.
There it is. That's going to be tough for Little to get out of that, but she's fighting hard.
She is.
Veloci almost has it, has the tilt right there.
Yeah, this is tough here.
And there's the fall. This is twice Veloci has trailed and come back and got a pinfall. It's a good evening so far for Alyssa Veloci for Vernon. She gets the pin over Kaylee Little with 1:21 to go here in the second period.
Yeah, she's a fighter. That's fun to watch.
So we're going to see Janisa Dureni again from High Point. And she lost to Drayden Charman in the first match. She's going to go to Charlotte Flatt, making her first appearance. Flatt's 12-5, another ninth grader, fourth at the Bloomfield tournament, fourth at the Battle of the Bay at Bayonne, and third at the BCWCA. Who we're not going to see tonight for Vernon, arguably their best wrestler, Natalie Tucker, because she's coming up on that match limit.
Mm-hmm.
She's 22-8, just a freshman, second at the HWS. She was first at the Bloomfield tournament, second at Bayonne, four-time middle school state champ, a middle school national champ, and a fourth at the BCWA. So Tucker, what a future for her.
Yeah, she's been wrestling for a while. I think I helped coach her in AC about 4 years ago. So I definitely knew her name. So that was cool to see a familiar face today.
Flat with the takedown. And I love that all the grades here, 9th, 10th. The future is going to be great for this sport in Sussex County.
Yeah, I agree. It's cool, too. These girls, they're honestly so brave to just
no doubt
start wrestling as a ninth grader. That is not an easy task. I feel like when we get to high school, we know what sport we're going to do.
Right.
And for these girls to take on a whole new sport as a freshman in high school, you got to give them credit.
No doubt. Durrani gets the escape, cuts the lead of Charlotte Flat to 2-1.
I think part of that is probably Ashley. She's probably going around the school saying, you should wrestle, you should wrestle.
She's the Pied Piper. Again, if you don't play a winter sport,
yeah, she's got your name.
She's going to find you. She's going to find you. I think she's in the guidance office asking, who's playing sports in the wintertime?
Oh, my goodness.
Flat takes the shot. Nothing yet. Short time here. 5 seconds left in the opening period. And nothing doing there, so it'll be 2-1 as we head to the second period. Flat with the lead over Janisa Durrani. And good crowd here, too. You got to like that, huh, Coach?
Yeah, it's awesome. All these people to support these girls. It's really great.
So Flat will be on the bottom. Durrani up top. Kittatinny's got a nice girls program going over there.
Yeah, you have a couple girls, yeah.
Kira Hubmaster, one of them.
Yep.
Newton's got some kids that we talked about. Gianna Simeone over there at Newton.
Yeah, no, a lot of these schools have a couple right now. It's just they don't have an official girls team.
Right.
So I think that we only see a few at those schools. But I think that if they started, an official girls team, they would have just as many girls. That's why, when I was talking about these D1 colleges starting an official program, that's important. It's important to have a concrete program with a coach, with a schedule. That draws interest for sure.
No doubt. And, starting on the high school level, it's opportunities, you said, for scholarship money at the next level, which is great. More opportunities, the better.
Yes, I agree. But, you got to give credit to these boys coaches too. They, they're treating the 2 or 3 girls that they have the same way as the guys, and I give credit to them, for encouraging the girls to, wrestle with the boys, and they make the best of the situation. And even though they don't have an official girls team, I think that they're welcoming the women now, and that's important too.
Well, I think last year the big match in Sussex County on the boys' side is always High Point Kittatinny. And Kittatinny was able to beat High Point last year when Liliana Zaku Ramos
she's tough.
got the big win, and that gave Coach John Gill his 600th win.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?
And she's doing very well in the girls' circuit as well.
Yeah, she's tough. I think she had a jiu-jitsu background.
Mm-hmm.
And we see that a lot, too, with women's wrestling. A lot of these girls have a jiu-jitsu background.
Oh, trouble here. Flat trying to pick up the points, gets a reversal. She's up 4-1. Can she turn Durrani?
Short time on the clock here, too. Doesn't look like she's going to get the turn. So we'll probably go to a third period.
She's in good shape here, but I think you're right, Coach. And good job by Durrani.
Wow.
Gets the 2 with the switch. 4-3 as we're going to go into the third period. And gets her on the back. Was there no?
Out.
Wow.
That was close.
That was real close. So Flat will hold on literally to a 4-3 lead entering the third period against Janisa Durrani. There was more action in that final 30 seconds than the prior 4 minutes combined.
Yeah, like we were talking about, you don't need much time to turn things around, So
we'll go neutral. We haven't gone the full 3 periods yet, Coach. So this should be interesting.
Yeah, it's close. It's 4-3 here.
She picks up the 2 again. Durrani, she's going to take the 5-4 lead for High Point.
She's in trouble. Uh-oh.
And there it is. Good job by Durrani. She gets the pin. So she is 1-1 on the evening. And High Point is now three pins as well. So this is a match. This is the young lady I want to watch. Sophia Lombardo from High Point. Sophia, 14-3. Third at the Battle of the Bay. First at the Bloomfield tournament. She was first at the HWS and was named the OW. So Sophia Lombardo, we'll see her. And she's going to go against Sheridan Jones from Vernon. Jones, a 10th grader, she's 6-12, 4th at the HWS, 5th at the Bloomfield tournament, and finished in the top 6 at the BCWCA.
Yeah, and I guess the ultimate goal for these ladies would be states, right?
Absolutely.
And I think this year they're going to be at Phillipsburg.
I believe so.
I know there's some talk to get them back, at AC with the boys, which I totally agree with, but I don't know the circumstances. But, I thought it was pretty cool to have the girls' division there because, they got to perform in front of that big crowd.
Right, 10,000 fans.
Yeah, and that's important. I think it's important for these ladies to have the same experiences that the boys get.
Hey, with Sophia Lombardo on the mat, I want to thank Dominic's Pizza in downtown Newton, their families. You got Dominic's, you got Chesco's, you got Dominic's in Franklin. You were talking about Chesco's.
Yeah, I was talking
you
about.
love going there.
I do. Those places are great. I love their pizza. Whenever I come home from Oregon, I'm like, I need to have, Chesco's Pizza or Dominic's Pizza. It's so good.
Sophia, the OW at the HWS.
Not much action here.
Kind of feeling each other. Another one of the seniors not wrestling today, Madison McPherson, senior. I think they want to keep her down for match limit. She's 13-9. She was 3rd at the HWS, 6th at Bloomfield, 4th at the HWS in 2019. She was a top 6 finisher at the BCWCA. Madison was honored before the match. She's been a long-time wrestler. She was kind of on the ground floor with Ashley Iliff coming through the system and a great kid as well. So 20 seconds ago, no score. And trying to take the shot there's Lombardo,
nice.
And she's going to pick up the 2.
It's always great to get a score right at the end of the first period.
Stealing those points.
Yep. It just gives you momentum for the next period, I think.
Lombardo 152 as well as Sheridan Jones. So no big size difference, maybe a little bit taller Jones from Vernon. But both weight same, 2-0 lead for Lombardo as we head to the second period. Again, want to thank Matt Gizzi of the Cutting Edge Sports Network and the crew here tonight, Jake Gallagher and Jordan Gatelli helping out.
Wow, that was impressive.
Wow. That was a quick 2.
Yeah, that was great.
Got the old switcheroo there right out of there, 4-0 our score. Again, want to thank Creek Concrete, big supporters of High Point Wrestling boys and girls, the Saldano family, as well as the High Point Booster Club, Cheryl Saldano and Rhonda Gascione, big supporters. Trax Deli as well. The Daily Bean, located in Vernon as well, right in the bottom of Route 515, longtime sponsors of Vernon events. And Dairy Swirl. Skylar, you got to stop at Dairy Swirl on the way home. You like ice cream? This is the place to go, right there on Route 94.
I do like ice cream.
I think we found a new customer for the Dairy Swirl.
Yeah, I'll have to try it.
Right on Route 94. 4-0 Lombardo, and starting to get the turn here on Jones. Picks up the flags.
Her shoulder's still up there. She's doing a good job fighting. Back to... Oh.
And there's the pin. Lombardo will get the fall. She'll go to 15-3. So after Vernon started off with 4 or 5 pins, it's now High Point on the pin parade.
I know. We switched.
So we're going to see Alyssa Velosi again. She's been very busy for Vernon. She's got 2 falls. She's going to go against Sydney Holder, who's 2-11 from High Point. So Velosi very busy. So she's 10-7. So I think we'll see Velosi and we'll see Holder. So if there was a team score, it would be probably like 36 all right now with all the pins we've seen. We're close to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be close. Which hopefully sometime soon we see like an intense duel
right
between these 2 teams.
I think if both teams had a full lineup, their plan was to have a duel.
Yeah, I think that in the next couple of years that should happen. We
Right.
see a lot of freshmen, I'm sure they'll hopefully stick with it. Then they'll be the leaders to the new freshmen.
No team score, as we mentioned. It's a jamboree style, so that's why we see wrestlers wrestling multiple times. Actually, I believe that's Carney Weibel again for High Point. I think they might have switched up on Skylar. Let's see. See if we can get Coach Iliff to let us know the change here, because she was just over there talking to Aaron Bang. That's definitely Veloci, but I think that's Carney Weibel. Weibel had a pin. She beat Ariana Goolsby.
$50 left. See if somebody can get a score here.
Just want to double check on, I believe it is Carney, but we will double check.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, all right. Thought it was
We just
Carney
heard
Weibel.
someone
Yep.
cheering for her.
Thank you to our producer, Jake Gallagher, getting that information, and to the High Point fans for yelling out Carney. Making our job easy, Skylar.
I know. I need to, learn about these girls a little more. I've been in Oregon, so I haven't seen much female wrestling here in New Jersey, but I'm excited to follow it this year.
Well, you're picking the right time of the year, whereas we could be heading into the individual portion of the state tournament.
Yeah, it's exciting. Hopefully, I'll be able to watch that, whether I'm here in person or, watching it from Oregon. I'll definitely have to tune in to the state tournament.
Absolutely. Trying to get out. Veloci trying to pick up the one, and she does. We talked about what Weibel did. She won at the HWS and has a great resume. 18-2. So Veloci taking a 1-0 lead over an outstanding wrestler. Veloci with the 2 wins already today, moving her record to 10-7. She'll sleep well tonight. 3 matches.
Yeah. I think what is also exciting, too, is, if we have all these girls wrestling for their schools, we're eventually going to have a great Fargo team. And, that was what I did in high school. I went to Fargo all 4 years for nationals, and I'm excited to have a great, New Jersey girls freestyle team.
That'd be awesome.
It's exciting because, we would always do the duels, but we didn't have enough girls to fill the lineup, and, we only had about 7 girls going to Fargo, so I can't wait for the day that we're sending, 40 girls.
Right.
And we're competing with California and Texas that have a rich history in women's wrestling. That would be great.
Now, this is the ground floor right now for wrestling on the female side in New Jersey, and it's exploding. It's one of the fastest growing sports.
Yeah, for boys and girls,
Yeah.
I believe, on the high school level. Yeah, no, that's exciting.
And Skylar, you see the young kids here that are coming to watch. That's the future right there.
Yeah.
And they're watching the high school kids wrestle, and I'm sure they're wrestling on the youth level.
Yeah, it's so important. I mean, those little girls that just passed us, I'm sure they're the sisters of someone wrestling tonight. And, they get to see that, and they get to see these strong, female athletes. And I'm sure that, some of them aspire to wrestle and be just like their older siblings.
No doubt. That's how it starts. So Veloci will take a 1-0 lead against Carney Weibel as we head to the third period. Again, we have not had a match go the full 6. This might be our first one, but you never know. It just takes that one move, right?
Yep, it does. And we've seen that a lot tonight.
Carney Weibel having a great year, as we said. 18-2. Trying to turn Veloci, but Veloci doing a good job. Can she get the 2? No points yet. And she'll pick up one.
We were talking about how, female athletes get into wrestling because it's always like this crazy story, like, oh, my brother needed a partner at practice, or, they just kind of thought I was tough and threw me out there. But now we're going to hear stories like, oh, well, it was offered at my school, so I just decided to do it. And I think that's awesome.
I agree. Nice scramble here, trying to throw each other. Oh, Lucy in trouble.
Oh,
rolls
wow.
over, and there's the pin for Weibel. No, not yet. And there it is. But that was a great match. So High Point will get another full.
How many matches we have left? 3?
We have 3 left. So we'll see if this is Sydney Holder that'll come out for High Point, because she switched up with Carney Weibel. This would be Drayden Charman from Vernon. She pinned her first match. We'll see what the announcer says. Make sure. No, that looks like Janisa Dorina coming out again. Let's see. Yes, it would be Janisa Dorina. She's a busy young lady tonight.
I was watching the Blair Sem match the other day, and they had 2 female wrestlers compete for Blair. There's 2 right now on the team, and they were competing against Sem, which Sem has.
At the Wyoming Seminary for the non-wrestling fans.
Yeah, they have a huge women's program there. I think there's like 30 girls on the team, but it was awesome watching the boys cheer for the girls. I think that's like super important. And I see in the stands here, you got some high school boys watching their peers and cheering them on, and that's great.
Actually, for Vernon, this is going to be Madeline Hart. So the Hart family out there, Caitlin and Madeline. Madeline Hart, 11th grader, 9-9. Finished 5th in the HWS and finished in the top 6 at the BCWCA. So Madeline Hart out there. We're 46 seconds to go here in the first period. Thanks for joining us here on the Cutting Edge Sports Network. I want to thank Matt Gizzi for bringing us live to your living room or tablet or phone or
anywhere.
Anywhere. There's too much technology for me, Scotland. When I was a kid, we had a TV with an antenna, and that was it.
I know. It's good, though, because then people can tune in and watch us from everywhere.
Absolutely, and it'll stay on YouTube forever. So if you don't watch it live, you can just pop on, look for the Cutting Edge Sports Network, and you can watch this match anytime you want, which is awesome. So Dorini, this is her 3rd match. This is Madeline Hart's first. Again, thanks for joining us, Dan Cleary, along with Skylar Grote, former star wrestler at Blair Academy and Brock University in Canada. How'd you find Brock up in Canada? I know you started off at Lafayette.
Yeah, I did a year at Lafayette, and I was commuting to practice in Randolph, and it just became a little too much with school, and I told my dad, I think I need a concrete women's program. What do I do? Because I didn't want to go to any of the women's wrestling schools in the States because I didn't think any of them, fit what I wanted in a school. And so he had a friend suggest to him, oh, go look in Canada. I know there's a couple universities there that are really good academically and have a good women's program. And I never thought about it before, living in Canada.
Right.
So we took a trip up there, and I checked out Guelph and Brock, and I found my home at Brock, and I got to train with, Olympians and world team members, and, it was a great experience. I had Marty Calder as my coach, who is a 2-time Olympian, as well as Tanya Verbeek, who is huge in women's wrestling. I believe she has 3 Olympic medals, 2 silvers and a bronze, I believe. She always lost to Yoshida, I believe.
Ah, yes.
Who is arguably the best.
And Hart gets the fall, working hard, Madeline Hart. And hats off to Janisa Dorima. This is her 3rd match tonight. So hopefully her shoulder's okay. But Madeline Hart gets the big win for the Vikings. Now you're up in Canada. They didn't try to give you a hockey stick?
No, nope. I'm a wrestler. I'll always be a wrestler. But, I played other sports growing up. I played soccer a little bit. I played softball. That was like my main other sport. And
For Coach Conforti Browse?
I did, yeah.
Carolyn, one of the best.
Yeah, she's awesome. So I played for her my freshman year, but then I decided to turn my attention towards wrestling. And
so this might be our final bout of the evening. This is going to be Gabby Class against Caitlin Hart. We saw Caitlin wrestle before for Vernon. She lost to Nicole Gaffney. So Caitlin 17-8, and Class 1-6. Again, Hart, just a freshman.
I think another cool thing I've seen tonight is these girls are really having fun. And,
Yes.
that's really important in our sport. It's very serious. And, you got to be tough, but you got to have fun, too. And I could tell these girls are having fun.
They definitely are. They got a nice crowd here tonight, which is awesome.
Yeah, they're cheering on their teammates.
And Hart gets the 2. Class trying to wiggle out of it.
I think that's, why we need women's wrestling, too. We're empowering these young women are getting empowered. They are able to be, a part of a team with other females. There's just so many benefits to having women's wrestling.
Well, Skylar, I think you should visit every high school in the area and be the Pied Piper and see, look what it's done for me.
Yeah.
College education, you went to Blair.
Yeah, wrestling has honestly done a lot for me. It teaches you so much about life. It really does.
No doubt. Tells you not to give up.
Yep.
It's just you and another person under the spotlight.
Exactly.
Hart trying to turn Class. Class, trying to get it. 10 seconds to go. And 6 seconons. Did she get her? And she does. Caitlin Hart gets the fall.
Wow, what an end to the night, huh? Is that the last one? Maybe.
I think it might be the final bout of the evening. Let's see if they're going to have one more. We see one more high point.
Yeah, there's one more.
One more, okay.
This is Jamboree style.
That's right.
I might be here till 9 o'clock. I told Ashley, I went up to her before the match started, and I was like, you and me, we're the last match. And she chuckled. She's like, you're too big for me now.
This will be Holder and Veloci. I think people would pay to watch you and Ashley wrestle. That would be two of the best to come out of the county. That would be awesome.
Oh, Lord.
Well, that's going to be our teaser. Don't go anywhere, folks. You might have an extra match.
Maybe.
This is Sydney Holder, for High Point. As Skylar mentioned, Jamboree style, you really don't know who you're wrestling until you get to the scores table.
Yeah, Jamboree style. I just learned about that this year. That's like a Ashley Eiliff thing.
Yeah, that's an Ashley. Yeah, she likes the Jamboree style.
Yeah.
I asked her, so what's that mean? You could come out and have a campfire and make some s'mores in the middle of the mat?
Yeah, no, she started that. We have to give credit to her. It's kind of
what
like
a
Madison's system, but.
Mm-hmm. Veloci's having a great night for Vernon, going against Holder. So Veloci and Janissa Darimi from High Point, 3 matches each. It's a busy night. Again, I want to thank Bill Foley, outstanding athletic director, especially Ashley Eiliff for putting this together, organizing it, and my man Matt Gizzi, Cutting Edge Sports Network, bringing this to you. I don't see anyone else warming up for a possible next match, so I think this might be our final one. And will we get a match that goes the full 6? Haven't seen it yet. Is that normal?
I think with newer wrestlers, they kind of put themselves in vulnerable positions because they don't know. They haven't felt it enough, certain positions. So I think that when we're watching new new wrestlers, that's common for the match to not go the whole 6 minutes. Wrestling is a sport where you really have to be aware of where you are at all times. You can't have your hips too high. You just have to be constantly aware. And I think with new wrestlers, they just haven't learned that yet. So,
Those who trying to turn her. Now, I've talked to wrestlers, and might have the fall here. Holder trying to get out of it, but Veloci in great position, looking for her another win tonight.
Yeah, looks like she's going to get it here.
Long time if you're Holder, and there's the pin. So another pin for Veloci. She does a great job, and that's going to wrap up the wrestling portion of tonight's activities. But don't go anywhere, folks. We might see Ashley Island wrestle Skylar Grote. I don't know, but my guess would be not.
No.
But we're going to have some post-match reaction. We're going to talk to Ashley Island, a Vernon wrestler, and Erin Bang, a High Point wrestler, and we're going to celebrate what we just watched, a great night of female wrestling here in Sussex County at Vernon High School. Skylar, your thoughts, what you saw tonight?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's awesome watching these girls put it on the line and to see so many of them. It's great. Thank you for having me.
Skylar, it was an absolute pleasure having you on. And next time we do a girls' match, if you were in town, you were going right on speed dial. You did an outstanding job.
Thank you. You too.
You brought a lot to the broadcast and educated me on female wrestling. So thank you so much, Skylar, and best of luck in all your endeavors in wrestling. But we're going to step aside real quick. We'll get some wrestlers to come over and talk to us, and we'll be back here live on the Cutting Edge Sports Network right after this.
Cutting Edge Sports Network is the #1 high school sports site dedicated to bringing you the top local sports coverage in the New Jersey area. We are focused on curating live play-by-play broadcasting, game recaps, weekly news articles, and the best overall coverage. Everything you need to follow your local high school sports teams is right here in one place. The Cutting Edge Sports Network. Live, local, sports.
back here live at Vernon Township High School. We just watched a match between Vernon and High Point. We'll have some Vernon coaches and players on later, but right now, joined by two High Point wrestlers, Carney Weibel and Sophia Lombardo. Jamboree style, no score kept, but it was like almost right down the middle, pins on both sides. What are your thoughts about wrestling tonight?
It was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. I mean, it's always fun to wrestle Vernon, like close teams, you know. It's always fun.
And how's it feel to only have a short ride? When you guys girls wrestle, you got to go all over the state. You're only 20 minutes away. How cool is that?
Oh, it's absolutely amazing to have a team that's so close and so close-knit, to be honest with you. Like, Vernon's basically our family, just like we in our room are our own family.
Now, you guys, great careers so far, great seasons. Both of you guys won HWS titles. We'll talk to Carney first about it, then we'll talk about you. You were at OW, which is pretty awesome. Carney, take us through winning that HWS. That's pretty prestigious stuff.
I don't know. I tried to just stay focused, plan everything, what I'm going to do before, and I don't know, get to know the girls and just like have fun. It's just fun.
Girls wrestling is on the rise, but not a lot of kids are doing it. So do you see the same kids kind of over and over and you get to know all their moves?
Yeah, I think we do. I mean, there's some new girls. Like, I know North Hunterdon had a few new girls that it was fun, like, talking to, getting to know and wrestle with. So that's
Sophia, you were the outstanding wrestler at the OW. That's pretty awesome stuff. Your thoughts on that?
It was absolutely incredible to be awarded that. I was just so happy to be there and, you know, to get to wrestle with so many different teams. And even if I do wrestle them quite often, it's still nice to see the progress and to see the program of just girls wrestling in general growing, because years prior to that, we did not have that many girls.
And how cool is it that High Point has such a great tradition in wrestling that you guys are on the ground floor? Hopefully the girls will be seen just in the same light as the boys.
Yeah, I hope so.
To be honest with you, I'm really hoping to get on that mat with those boys.
There you go.
It's like the best feeling in the world, being able to go toe-to-toe with a guy.
Now, how'd you guys get interested in wrestling? I know it's a rite of passage at High Point, but how did you guys get interested?
Actually she begged me to do it freshman year, and she's been my partner, and she's gotten me to love it. Like, it's my favorite sport now.
How'd you get involved?
So High Point had just made a brand new girls team, and I've always been very, I want to be one of the boys, I want to do a contact sport. So I saw girls wrestling and I was like, wow, this seems amazing. And my mom said yes, so I decided, and it was the best decision of my life.
So are you going to have a wrestle-off for Brian Saldano for the best wrestler at High Point? Is that happening?
I think I would be demolished. I am not about to call out Brian Saldano here right now.
Well, ladies, congratulations. It was a lot of fun. Continued success, and way to be on the ground floor with this. Years from now, you'll look back when girls wrestling is huge in New Jersey, and it's going to be. You guys were a big part of it. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
for
you so
having
much.
All righty. That's Carney Weibel and Sophia Lombardo, and we're hoping to have Ashley Iliff come on over. Yes, indeed. Coach Iliff's going to come over from Vernon. Again, I call her the Pied Piper of wrestling in this county. I covered her when she was at Newton wrestling the boys. She's done a great job. So we have Ashley Iliff coming over here. Coach, great show tonight. You guys did a great job. Your thoughts on what happened tonight?
It was awesome. I mean, High Point's always a big competitor. We tied with them, and we only won on criteria just over the weekend. So it was nice to have the girls have face off and, get more matches in right before the region tournament. I mean, this is kind of the ending to our season. We're coming at the last bit here, and I think the girls are really cleaning up some things and working hard on things, and it's nice to see it all coming together.
Yeah, just talk about that. You had some girls had some match limits, so some kids went multiple matches. Just let everyone know what exactly is Jamboree style, so people are new to it.
So Jamboree style is where we just match girls up closest to weight. It could be one weight class above them, just so they can get the matches in, because for women's wrestling right now in New Jersey, they are not getting matches. Unless you have a full team like we do, we are lucky enough we can do dual style matches, but most matches we do not. There's a few girls here, a few girls there. So the point of Jamboree style is to get matches for the season, because most girls don't have matches. We are actually a very fortunate team that we had a few girls meet their 30 limit match, which is awesome. I mean, the fact that we have that many matches, last year I think the most we had was 7 matches. So.
And just all the support you get for wrestling here at Vernon. I mean, Obviously, if people don't know, Ashley was a tremendous wrestler in the high school level at Newton High School, did great on the college level, bringing girls wrestling all over the county. You're the Pied Piper. I was saying that on the air. You have brought wrestling to the forefront on the girls' side. Just talk about the growth of the sport.
Oh, it's phenomenal. I mean, this weekend we had our first ever dual tournament, which was like a state tournament, and it was great to see the atmosphere, the girls screaming, the excitement, and even our girls, they were like, they've never done it before, and they were like, this is the coolest thing ever, and I think it's just going to promote growth and get girls out there, and I mean, scholarships are available. That's what I'm promoting. I say it to every school, every coach, get your girls out. There are scholarships ready to be handed out.
Well, Coach, great job. Who do we bring over here? Who do we have?
Okay, so I have a senior, Drayden.
Drayden, yes.
And Alyssa,
Alyssa, 3 matches tonight, yes. So, Coach Isla, thank you so much. I appreciate all you're doing. I just said to the High Point girls, and I'll say to you guys, 20 years from now, when you guys look back, you guys were on the ground floor when high school wrestling really, in the girls' side, takes off in New Jersey. Yes, you are. Well, ladies, congratulations. Your thoughts on 3 matches tonight? You're going to sleep well tonight?
Oh, yeah. It was tough, but I fought through it. So.
And just talk about, the High Point girls said the Vernon team's like an extension of their family. You guys know each other. Talk about how cool that is.
Honestly, I grew up hanging out with one of the girls, and even now we're hitting each other left and right, and it's still, we shake hands and we're best friends. Like, it's awesome.
Now, you're a freshman, right? Sophomore. So how'd you get into the sport?
I started in 8th grade from my friends. They were like, oh my God, girls wrestling. I was like, oh, okay, I'll just go to a match, see what it is. And I instantly fell in love when I saw my first match. Instantly.
And how about you?
I started my sophomore year, and it was really just Ilif coming up to a lunch table saying, hey, do you guys want to try this out? And I was like, I've heard about it, tried it, and it really just, love started right then and there.
And she has a list of everyone that plays a winter sport. And if you're not on that list, she's coming to find you. Just talk about, you guys, you know her wrestling as a coach, but I've known her for years. What she's done for wrestling on the girls' side is amazing. How cool is it that you're with someone that's so dedicated and passionate about the sport?
It's amazing. Like, there's no words to describe it. Like, it's kind of, we get an outlook of how she had it, and then she puts it on us, and we're like, oh my God, that'd be so cool if we were in her position. So we try and work hard and work up to that standard.
Especially going to college for wrestling, that's what I'm doing, leaving as a senior. It's crazy to see that she just did it just because she's so young, so now it's my turn to follow in her footsteps.
And again, I was saying before, you guys are laying the groundwork to great things, not only for Vernon girls wrestling, but wrestling in the county. So, ladies, congratulations. We wish you the best of luck from here on out, okay?
Thank you.
All right. So that'll wrap up our live coverage here on the Cutting Edge Sports Network. We just watched Vernon and High Point. Our first girls wrestling match was great. Want to thank Jordan Catelli, our cameraman, Matt Gizzi, the owner, Jake Gallagher producing. Skylar Grote did a great job as my color commentator tonight. So I hope you enjoyed it. Want to thank everyone for watching. I'm Dan Cleary. Everyone have a great night.